Hello everyone, welcome back to the lecture series on homeopathy. I am Dr. Kedarnath A. Lungani. I am MD Homeopath. I am teaching repertory in Bharati Vidyapeeth Homeopathic Medical College, Pune. Today we are going to see a book on research in thermal materia medica, which is written by a living legend in the field of homeopathy, Dr. Amartya Nikam. He is a classical homeopath. He is known for low potency and single remedy prescriber. He runs 100-bedded, unique and existent homeopathic hospital in Pimpri near Pune. His name of the hospital is Aditya Homeopathic Hospital and Healing Center. He has treated many emergency cases. He is a strong follower of Hahnemannian principle. Even he implements it in his own practice. He is a highly successful homeopathic practitioner. He is the author of well-known research book on homeopathy. He has received many national and international awards. His book Thermal Materia Medica includes many thermal medicines which were previously not given. These medicines helps in reaching out to the similimum. Even these medicines helps in widening the scope for the selection of similimum. Except Dr. Gibson Miller, nobody has worked in depth in the field of thermal sensations. This book includes total 284 medicines on thermals. Author says that every individual has a different thermals. Like some patients are chilly, some patients are hot, some are ambithermal, means sensitive to heat and sensitive to cold. Even he has given some subtypes also, like towards chilly and towards hot. Out of 284 medicines, there are 141 medicines are chilly and towards chilly. Then 110 medicines are hot and towards hot. And 33 medicines are given as a ambithermal medicines. Author says that thermals are hidden in drug modalities and their sensations. He has given few examples. He says that some of the homeopaths feels that arsenic iode is a hot medicine due to the iodine content. But as per his study, arsenic iode is a chilly medicine. Then homeopath feels that lycopodium is a hot medicine. But as per his study and calculation, the lycopodium is a ambithermal medicines. Then most of the homeopaths feels that the veratum ulp is a chilly medicine. But as per his study and calculation, veratum ulp is a more towards the hot medicine. This book is forwarded by Dr. Parinaz Humranwala. She is a well-known homeopath from Mumbai. She is the author of the book Temperaments Type. She says that this book introduces new dimension in the area of thermals and making it easier for homeopathic practitioners to arrive at a correct similimum. Now we are having with us the living legend in the field of homeopathy, Dr. Amartya Nikam. Let's ask him directly about the book Thermal Materia Medica. Welcome Dr. Amartya Nikam sir. Sir, what inspired you to write a book on thermal materia medica?
Very nice question, sir. and a very interesting question. Why thermals are important? During my practice, when I started my own practice, I came to know many times I'm missing somewhere. Something is missing. I try to reconcile the case. The problem remains the same. And because of that, I was not getting proper medicine. According to my knowledge, I was taking a lot of efforts on the case. But still, because of something is lacking, so I try to find out what is the lacking. When I read in a Kent repertory about Judson Miller, I think this is also very interesting to carry forward. Then I try to analyze every medicine by different angle, means by the thermal angle. Because in a lot of cases, in every case, there is a modality of thermal sensation. So, when I read Clark, he tried to gather these chilly modalities, hot modalities, and amethymal modalities by different way. Then I come to the conclusion how this patient is chilly, for example, if also how this iodine is what, why. When I goes in deeper level, I understood that there was a temperature difference. Some patients are chilly, they are आपण शीत प्रकृति में. Some are hot, they are आपण उष्ण प्रकृति में. And some are ambithermal, they are सम प्रकृति में. ये तीन प्रकृति मध्ये प्रत्येक पेशंट बसतो. In these three types of thermal modality, I found every medicine is having its individual thermal manifestation. So I try to catch that manifestation and I come to the conclusion why arsenic is chilly. Because arsenic is having a lot of receptors which is giving information to the hypothalamus that arsenic is chilly because it requires warm water, woolen clothing. It requires fires. He will have to take help from hot water like that. So, when I think about the hot receptors in the arsenic, I had got hot symptoms also. So I recollect the chilly symptoms and hot symptoms together and come to the conclusion there are a lot of chilly manifestations and symptoms in the arsenic. Then I come to the iodine and I was shocked because iodine have only few cold receptors, cold symptoms, and most of the iodine symptoms are hot. Then I think I again read China, the first medicine which Dr. Hahnemann had manifested in this world. And then I realized I am on the right way because China himself is expressing chilly manifestation. And it's a chilly remedy for malaria. And I was very happy that I am on the right track. Why Dr. Hahnemann himself when he had put the China on himself, he had a lot of chilly symptoms, and he noted that chilly sensations of China, along with all other symptoms from head to toe. China manifested a different way, but most of the modalities of China are manifested by the chilly symptoms. Then I was very happy. Yes. The first medicine Dr. Hahnemann had discovered was a thermal sensation, and he noted, he gave importance to that sensation. And when I tried to read the Vata Medica again and again, and in many remedies, I found chilly symptoms are more, hot symptoms are few in the chilly remedy, and in the hot symptoms, hot remedy, chilly receptors are very low. Because of that, the hypothalamus is expressing it is towards hot. So I gathered these chilly hot symptoms together, and I come to the conclusion every remedy is having its own thermal manifestation. While case taking and in homeopathic philosophy, there is a very important law which we are considered as the golden words, that simila similibus curator. When I realized that law, simila, when the patient is in similar symptoms, for example, China, produce malaria symptoms, loss of appetite, thirst, everything. When I realized China, then I felt, I understood that China is a chilly. So there is no question of ambithermal and hot remedy. It is more easy practice to gather all the chilly modalities, hot modalities, make the plus minus. When you will find there are more chilly symptoms, you can declare it's a chilly remedy. It's very easy. And what our law is saying, simila similibus curator. For thermally, for example, if you have to consider this law, you have to give chilly remedy to the chilly patients. You are not supposed to give hot remedy to the chilly, because simila similibus curator. तो जो सेम मैनिफेस्टेशन है उसको ही मैच होने वाले तो आपको देंगे. That's why I become very joyful. Yes, it's a very wonderful discovery. And then it made me very easy. In my practice, when I started using these thermal modalities, I had got a tremendous response. And many of the cases which I was not able to give them good results, they are also treated very rapidly and fastly. And again, if you are lethargic to select the exact similar thermal symptoms, your case is not going to resolve. So, and it was very interesting. Then I started using this thermal practice manifestation in every patient. And really, I am telling you, there is a lot of difference in my selections. And I myself become good prescriber. So, I think every homeopathy is a very great science. There are no words to express about, appreciate about the homeopathy. But why the people are not able to come to the conclusion, yes, this is thermal chili patient, you have to use chili remedy. Because if you are using ambithermal remedy to the heart patient, it's not going to work. And when I write down these books, and a lot of my students, they are using this practical matter, thermal matter medica. They are also very happy and they got very easier because if you are using thermal filter, you are very confident, yes, finally this remedy work. You have to omit the all chili remedies for the heart patient, and you have to omit all hot remedies for the chili patient. And that would be very excellent when selecting the final. If there are 4-5 drugs coming, for example, arsenic, bromine, and stocks, and more solids coming together at the end of the case taking. We are considering the 4-5 drugs are there. Finally, you have to think thermal. If the patient is hot, you have to give him bromine only, not arsenic, not Rostock. And I got so much joy that this book should spread everywhere in the world, and it will give new pathway to final selection. And it would be a good discovery for this homeopathic science, because it will give you clear-cut thermal picture, and the final selection will be more easy and sure, damn sure. And I try to spread this message to the world that homeopathy is not a confused science. It's based on fundamental science. There is a philosophy, there are some laws. You have to apply the law for the practice, your regular practice. You will get good results. In every severe or critical or crucial or in simple cases. Even in the COVID-19, I used this thermal chart I had given to my colleagues and students, and they use it confidently. They had get very good, tremendous results.
Very nice explanation, sir. Sir, what message you want to give to the young budding homeopaths?
Homeopathy is an excellent science, and you are very lucky persons got admission for homeopathic college. This is extremely divine, beautiful science. How could I express my joy? I had a 100-bedded hospital where I am treating critical, crucial, complicated cases, malignancies, crucial cases, lung diseases, cardiac failure, renal failure, many types of cases with ease. Why? Because I am very sure that this therapy is going to work on this patient, because there is no confusion between the miasm. Miasm is also very great thing, and thermal mathematica. And according to the homeopathic philosophy, you have to gather the character totality. So once you gather the totality perfectly, at least 4, 5, 6 2 weeks, you will come to the conclusion But remedy selection is very easy with the thermal help. And you feel you become confident yourself. You will get more joy. Yes, I will give good service to my patient. And homeopathy is a really excellent science. You have to follow the philosophy and the rules. The simila similibus curator is a golden words, and you have to just carry on follow this homeopathic philosophy. Everybody will get excellent results. And how homeopathy works so rapidly. I had written another book that is called Vital Force. In that Vital Force, I had explained that how homeopathic medicines works in the human body. And this thermal book had given me a lot of ideas to clear the homeopathic scientific theory to the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sparing the time and sharing your valuable knowledge. Thank you. Let's see the thermal materia medica in detail. Research in thermal materia medica by Amartya D. Nikam. This is the cover page of the book. This book is forwarded by Dr. Parinaz J. Humranwala. She says, Dr. Amar D. Nikam's latest book, Research in Thermal Materia Medica, introduces a new dimension in the area of thermals, making it easier for homeopathic practitioners to arrive at the correct simillimum. Dr. Nikam is well-known face in the field of homeopathy. His 50-bedded homeopathic hospital in Pune, Aditya Homeopathic Hospital and Healing Center, is known all over the country to treat cases with severe pathology. His first book, Homeopathy, The Art of Rapid and Gentle Healing, which covers 33 severe cases and their remedies, is an inspiration to budding homeopaths. Also, Dr. Nikam is a torch-bearer of homeopathic principles and practices pure homeopathy and treats a variety of cases, thus doing human service to humankind in general. The aspect of thermals was brought in strongly by Dr. Gibson Miller and was carried in Kent's repertory. Dr. Gibson Miller's list is limited to only 182 drugs as compared to 284 remedies described by the author. Each remedy modalities have been systematically arranged into 2 columns, and thereafter each of these have been concluded as being chilly, hot, ambithermal. In day-to-day practice, after repertorization, some few hundred drugs will come out pretty near one another. Here, if the filter of thermals is applied, It makes the task of the practitioner easy and less cumbersome. Thus, this list of 284 drugs is like a ready reckoner and facilitates the practitioner to reach simillimum. Dr. Nikam in his research work has unearthed arsenic iode as a chili remedy, contrary to general homeopath's view wherein arsenic iode is termed as hot. Similarly, Lycopodium, which is considered hot, is presented as ambithermal remedy. The author has done intense referencing as mentioned in bibliography of his book to arrive at the conclusion for the thermals of each remedy. The author has emphasized a correct and detailed line of questioning to elicit more accurate response to determine the thermal, as compared to only 5 remedies listed under Gibson Miller's ambithermal list. This material has roughly 50 remedies under the same category. This book definitely will add to the existing homeopathic knowledge base, and I wish Dr. Nikam and his latest book all the success it deserves. Now we will see the contents of the book. First, thermal physiology and homeopathy. Then types of thermal. Then question and answers about thermals. Then how to make totality of thermal sensations. Then how to apply this method for selection of thermals. Then drug index. Then how to find out thermals from homeopathic remedies. Then thermal materia medica. Then cases for reference. And the last, bibliography. Thermals, physiology and homeopathy. Introduction. Man is a warm-blooded animal. Scientifically, he is called a homeothermic animal. Every individual has his own mechanism to maintain his body temperature according to his cellular and biochemical reaction. The normal body temperature in human beings is 37 degree centigrade or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. The superficial skin temperature varies according to atmospheric temperature. There are 2 types of variations of body temperature. A. Physiological variation. B. Pathological variations. Now we will see first A. Physiological variations. Under that first point, age. In infants, during first few days after birth, the temperature regulating activities does not function properly. In children, due to increased physical activities, the temperature is more than in adults. In old persons, as physical activities are less, and hence the body temperature is slightly reduced. Now we will see the second point, basal metabolic rate. low BMR lowers the temperature, but if the BMR is high, the temperature moves slightly towards the higher side. The third point, timing variation. In early morning, temperature is 1 degree less, but in afternoon, it increases about 1 degree more than normal temperature. After a meal and during exercise, the body temperature is slightly increased due to production of heat in muscles. During sleep, the body temperature is reduced by 0.5 degree, and during emotional stress it is increased. Now we will see the second point, B, pathological variations. First we will see hyperthermia. Hyperthermia is defined as an abnormal increase in body temperature during infection. The toxic substances released from bacteria or parasites affecting the heat regulating system in hypothalamus. In hyperthyroidism, body temperature increases due to high basal metabolic rate. In diabetes insipidus, the temperature rises. Next point was hypothermia. Decreased body temperature is called hypothermia. It occurs in conditions like hypothyroidism and lesion in hypothalamus and hemorrhage in certain part of brainstem. Now we will see heat balance. Normally, the temperature is maintained at a constant level by some mechanism in the body. This is by adjusting the heat gain in accordance to heat loss and vice versa. Now we will see heat production. The only mechanism that is involved in the production of heat in the body is metabolic activities. The major portion of heat produced in the body is due to metabolism of food. Most of the metabolic reactions occur in the liver. Heat production is more during metabolism of fat and less during carbohydrate and protein metabolism. Heat is produced in the muscle both at rest and during physical activities. Skeletal muscle produce about 80% of heat activity. The respiratory muscles too produce about 38% of activity of heat. The role of hormones is very important in the production of heat in the body. Thyroxine and adrenaline increases the heat production by accelerating the metabolic activities. The metabolism of body simply means all the chemical reactions in all the cells of the body, and metabolic rate is normally expressed in terms of the rate of heat liberation during chemical reactions. Heat is a byproduct of metabolism. The male sex hormone testosterone can increase the metabolic rate. The female sex hormone may increase BMR. to a small extent. Growth hormones can increase the metabolic rate as a result of direct stimulation of cellular metabolism. Increased metabolism affects epinephrine, norepinephrine, and sympathetic stimulation of the cell. Higher environmental temperature also affects the body temperature and vice versa. Exposure to cold causes the rapid involuntary muscular contractions, leading to shivering. During the activity, enormous heat is produced. Heat loss. Most of the heat production in the body is generated in the deep seated organs, especially liver, brain, heart, and the skeletal muscles during exercise. The heat is then transferred from the deeper organs and tissues to the skin, where it is released in the air and the surroundings. Heat conduction to the skin by blood is controlled by the degree of vasoconstriction. The vasoconstriction is controlled almost entirely by the sympathetic nervous system in response to change in the body temperature and change in the environmental temperature. The various methods by which heat is lost from the body, from the skin to the surroundings include radiation, convection, conduction, and evaporation. Regulation of body temperature. The temperature of the body is regulated almost entirely by the nervous feedback mechanism, and almost all these operate through temperature regulating centers located in the hypothalamus. There are two centers in the hypothalamus which are concerned with temperature regulation. 1. Heat loss center. 2. Heat gain center. Skin and anterior hypothalamus have more heat sensitive neurons, while internal organs and posterior hypothalamus have more cold sensitive neurons. The impulse from skin and anterior hypothalamus are carried to the posterior hypothalamus, and then the appropriate decision is taken. All the temperature control mechanisms continually attempt to bring the body temperature back to set point level, that is 37.1 degrees Celsius. Regulation of body temperature. Apart from subconscious mechanisms for body temperature control, the body has behavioral control too. Whenever internal body temperature becomes too high, signals from the temperature controlling areas in the brain give the person a psychic sensation of being overheated. So, all the mechanisms to decrease body temperature are stimulated. The behavior of the person also changes. He wants fanning or air conditioner for comfort. Whenever body becomes too cold, signals from the skin and also some deep body receptors elicit the feeling of cold discomfort. Therefore, the person makes appropriate environmental adjustments to re-establish comfort, such as moving into heated room or wearing warm clothing. This is more powerful system of body temperature control and very potent. Regulation of body temperature. In every individual, the temperature set point level remains the same, but the BMR is different. This is so because every human being has his different emotions and food choices. Even his endocrine functioning level is different. Sometimes hormones like thyroxine, adrenaline, and testosterone secretion levels increase or decrease to the BMR level. Heat production level is sensitive to heat and cold according to the chemical reactions in the cells and BMR. Types of thermals. Introduction. In homeopathy, while proving the drug, in the bracket you will find a substance whose medicinal power is to be discovered. Bracket complete. A prover experiences many symptoms mentioned in our Materia Medica. When Dr. Hahnemann discovered the first drug China, while proving the dose, he noted down the thermal sensations that he felt with his keen observation, like fever bracket heat sensation and rigor chill sensation. After that, he discovered hundreds of homeopathic medicines, each expressing its own thermal sensation. Henceforth, he realized that for selection of a proper homeopathic medicine, thermals are very important part of totality of symptoms. Totality is inadequate and incomplete without thermal modalities. As there is a law of similia similibus curantur, which implies that for hot patient hot medicine and for chilly patient chilly medicine should be given, and hence thermals are an essential part of homeopathic medicines. Every medicine contains all three types of thermal sensations, but their thermal presentation is different according to atmospheric changes, weather changes, dietary changes, or geographical changes. Every individual has different thermal sensations. For example, some patients are hot, some chilly, some ambithermal, means sensitive to both hot and cold, while some are subtypes of thermals like towards hot and towards chilly. Now we will see thermally hot. These patients are sensitive to hot and even warm air, summer, sun exposure, warm clothing or covering, and also feel uneasy in closed room or in crowded places. For bathing, they require cold or lukewarm water because their body cellular setup expresses extreme sensitivity towards heat sensation. Hence, they feel comfortable only in cold air, fresh open air. They enjoy fanning or AC and dislike covering. Thermally chilly. Some individuals are sensitive to slight cold air or even open air. These patients will require warm covering, woolen clothing to protect their body from cold. They feel comfortable in warm room. Also, they are better by warm application, and for bathing they require hot or warm water in every season. Now we will see ambithermal. Some individuals are equally sensitive to both heat and cold sensations. For example, they can neither bear heat and sun exposure nor feel better by draft of air and cold application. Whenever they feel cold, they like to move to warm places. These individuals have mercurial character. Now we will see towards chilly. These individuals are basically highly sensitive to draft of cold air or low temperature, but they are also sensitive to warm weather, hot air or sun exposure. For example, Calibichromicum towards chilly. Sometimes they are aggravated by cold wind or draft of air, but they are also better by draft of cold air. Towards hot. These individuals are generally sensitive to high temperature, but sometimes they are also sensitive to cold temperature. When riding on bicycle, the patient needs warm covering over the open parts. For example, Carbovage towards hot. These patients are aggravated by hot bathing and hot weather, but are better by warmth. Note: if the remedy is towards hot, it can be considered as hot remedy. Similarly, if the remedy is towards chilly, it can be considered as chilly patient. Questions and answers about thermals. What type of questions you should ask the patients regarding thermal sensations? Many homeopathic physicians feel that thermal is a type of feeling, and that is why they ask their patient questions such as: do you like winter or summer climate? Most of the patients reply by saying, yes, I like winter. There is another question often asked: do you like cool or hot air, AC or open air? And most of the patient reply, yes, I enjoy cool air. Asking this type of questions to the patient is totally wrong practice. You must ask them objective questions such as whether you like wearing sweaters or warm coverings in winter. During sleep, in a cold climate, would you prefer blanket or warm coverings? Third one, would you like to bath with hot or cold water? Fourth, would you feel better in warm room, closed room, or in open air? Are you sensitive to cold air or hot air? Next, are you sensitive to cold exposure or hot exposure? Are you sensitive to getting wet in rain or in cold water? Do you like fanning or not? Are you sensitive to cold draft or open air? These are essential questions to be asked, and your patients will give you response in yes or no. Your patients must have only two options to say, either yes or no, because these are the direct questions which will give you the clue for thermal modalities. Fourth point now, how to make totality of thermal sensations. While collecting this data, you must do the totality of thermal sensation questions, and then you should decide which sensation is getting maximum numbers and grades. Accordingly, you should decide whether the patient is chilly or hot. For example, if the patient is chilly, he will reply that I cannot tolerate cold air, cold bathing, air draft, or AC. I like warm covering and closed room. I take hot water or lukewarm water for bathing. So conclusion is that the patient is chilly. Vice versa. If your patient is thermally hot, he would reply, I cannot tolerate hot air, sun exposure, closed room, and hot bathing. This is absolutely a hot patient. If the patient is ambithermal, he would reply, I am equally sensitive to both extremes of temperature, that is hot and cold weather. But finally, if the patient is towards chilly, then there has to be more chilly symptoms, that is chilly dominancy. And if the patient is hot, naturally it must show more hot or towards hot symptoms, that is hot dominancy. Note, do not decide thermals on any single symptom. Try to make thermal totality. First calculate the totality and then decide whether the patient is hot, cold, or ambithermal. Do not ask questions which are indicating only single track. Ask the questions about how the patient tolerates cold and heat sensations. These bilateral questions will definitely give you the accurate results of thermals. How to apply this method for selection of thermals? While repertorizing the case, If the patient's symptoms and modalities are expressing hot symptoms, you have to eliminate all chilly remedies. If the patient is thermally hot, then don't even think of chilly remedies. Unless and until you are going to eliminate chilly remedies, it will be difficult to reach exact minimum. The same law is applied to the chilly remedies. If the patient is chilly, you have to select only chilly remedies. If the patient is ambithermal state, you have to think only about the ambithermal drugs and not hot and chilly remedies. 6 point. Drug index, name and page. It starts with abrotanum, page number 39, and ends with gingiber, page number 120. There are total 284 medicines mentioned. 7 point. How to find out the thermals from the homeopathic remedies? Author says, while doing extensive on thermal sensation of remedies, he has understood that the thermals are hidden in the drug modalities and their sensations. He has never given importance to the drug action on particular area of the human body. For example, in the Kent repertory, belladonna is given highest grade medicine for both coldness sensation of head and head heat sensation. But for selection of medicine, thermal of particular area are discarded and only general symptoms which are represented through general modalities are considered for the measurement of thermals. In every medicine, the chilly and hot symptoms are prominent, and if their count and gradation are more, then they are declared chilly or hot according to their states. While declaring the result of every drug thermal, you have to calculate the number of modalities as well as the gradation of the symptoms. Author says, it was a difficult task to find and count the modalities from so many different and well-known materia medicas and repertories. Author says, most of the noble homeopathic books were referred. The buttermilk is separated, and only the cream work is used for the presentation of this book. Author says, through this book of mine, Thermal Materia Medica, you will come to know thermals of 284 homeopathic medicines. Hence, there is a large scope for choice of hot, chilly, and ambithermal remedies. Amongst these, I found 65 hot plus 45 towards hot, means total hot medicines 110. Then 96 chilly plus 45 towards chilly. So total chilly medicines 141 and 33 ambithermal medicines as compared to the comparison of Gibson Miller's given in Kent repertory. One more thing, author found that some remedies are considered as chilly or hot remedies, For example, some homeopaths feel arsenic iode as a hot medicine because of its iodine content. But when author worked on this medicine, he found it as a chili. Another example, homeopaths feel lycopodium as a hot medicine. But if you study and calculate lycopodium, the chili marks are 22 and hot marks are 21. That means lycopodium is ambithermal medicine. Another example of Varatum alb. Most of the homeopath feels Varatum alb as a chili medicine. As per author's study, it is more towards hot medicine. Author also found that there are many ambithermal remedies that are equally hot and cold, and so the number of ambithermal remedy naturally becomes more. Now we will see thermal materia medica. The first drug we have taken is abrotanum. One side you will find chili, another side you will find hot. Now we will see the modalities below the chili. Worse cold air, worse cold dry weather, worse cold wet weather, worse cold, worse weather. Under hot, you will find better open air. So the conclusion, abrotanum thermally is chili. Now here you will see the aconite napellus is thermally towards chili. Arsenic alb is thermally chili. Arsenic iodatum is again thermally chili. Baryta carb thermally chili. Baryta iode is towards hot. Calcarea carb thermally chili. Calcarea fluor thermally hot. Calcarea sulf thermally towards hot. Hepar sulf thermally chili. Ignatia towards chili. Iodium thermally hot. Kali bichromicum thermally towards chili. Lycopodium thermally ambithermal. Magnesium mure thermally towards chili. Medorinum thermally hot. Mercurius thermally ambithermal. Natrum mure thermally hot. Naxomica thermally chili. Phosphorus thermally towards chili. Pulsatilla thermally hot. Rustox thermally ambithermal. Sepia thermally chili. Silesia thermally towards chili. Sulfur thermally hot. Thuja thermally towards hot. Varatum alb thermally towards hot. Zincum met thermally chili. Now we will see the cases for reference. Case number 1. This is the case of male patient age 43 suffering from rare type of connective tissue disorder, systemic lupus erythematosus, with bilateral avascular necrosis of femur head, along with hypertension. He also had ischemia of bowel with toxemia, secondary to SLE. The totality taken. In short, hasty, hurried, contradiction, intolerance of, anticipatory anxiety, sensitive to criticism, amusement, enjoyment, desire, left to right complaints, desire sweets, ice cream, fanning desire, thermal hot, miasmatic background, psychosyphilitic. The remedy selected by author is argentum nitricum 30. This is the case number 2. Case of a lady aged 28 years suffering from meningitis, query viral, query tubercular, along with history of bronchial asthma. Patient had history of chikungunya a month back and history of prolonged allopathic treatment for that. As patient was unable to come, consultation was done with the help of relatives and with the help of her photograph. The totality selected. Element from honor wounded, mortification, bad effects of allopathic medicines, dominating, censorious, workaholic, worse, loss of sleep, night, fasting, better, sleep after, right-sided complaints, desire, pungent, spicy, sweets. Thermally, the patient is chilly. The remedy selected is Naxomica 30. Now we will see the third case. This is the case of a patient age 35 suffering from ankylosing spondylitis. The totality taken. Anxiety business about, jolly, jesting, sympathetic, restlessness, element from business loss, industrious, backache worse walking on, turning in bed, lying on painful side, left to right sided complaints, desire sweet sour. Thermally, the patient is ambithermal. The remedy selected is Rustox 30. Now we will see bibliography. Alan T.F., the Encyclopedia of Pure Materia Medica. Then Borick, William, Manual of Homeopathic Materia Medica and Repertory 9th edition. Then J.H. Clark, Clinical Repertory, Dictionary of Practical Materia Medica. Then Herring's Guiding Symptoms of Our Materia Medica, first updated edition. Then John Sholton's Materia Medica. Then Roger Van Zandvoort's Complete Repertory. Then Textbook of Medical Physiology by Arthur C. Guyton and John E. Hall. Then Essentials of Medical Physiology, second edition. Then Kent's Repertory, 5th edition, B. Jane. Then Robin Murphy's Medical Repertory, 2nd revised edition by B. Jane. Remedies with their thermals. Here we have arranged the remedies as chilly, towards chilly, hot, towards hot, and ambithermal. So you will find this chart here. Today we have seen this book is forwarded by Dr. Parinaz Humranwala. She says, Dr. Gibson Miller's thermal list is limited drug as compared to 284 drugs discussed by the author. She says, in this book, the modalities are systematically arranged into two columns, and each remedy is concluded at the end by chilly, hot, or ambithermal. Then we have seen thermal physiology. Man is a warm-blooded animal. The normal temperature of the body is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. Then we have seen the different thermal variations like physiological variations, then pathological variations of thermals. In physiological body temperature variations, we have seen in children, as their physical activity is more, so their body temperature is slightly more than the adults. Then in old people, as the physical activity is less, so temperature is also slightly reduced. Then we have seen BMR, basal metabolic rate. Low BMR causes reduction in the temperature. If BMR is more, then temperature is also slightly elevated. During the sleep, temperature is slightly reduced. Then second point we have seen is a pathological variations. Here we have seen hypothermia, means decreased temperature. Hypothermia 1. The second thing is a hyperthermia, means increased body temperature. Then we have seen heat production. Heat production is more during the metabolism of fat and is less during the carbohydrate and protein metabolism. Thyroxine and adrenaline causes increase in the heat production by accelerating metabolic activity. The male hormone, the male sex hormone, testosterone, causes increase in metabolic rate. Or then the female sex hormone also causes slight increase in the BMR. Growth hormone may accelerate the metabolic rate. Then we have seen the regulation of body temperature. The temperature of body is regulated by nervous feedback mechanism and through temperature regulating mechanism which is situated in the hypothalamus. There are two centers are there. One is a heat gain center and second one is a heat loss center. Then we have seen different types of thermals like thermally chilly, thermally hot, then thermally ambithermal, then towards chilly, then towards hot. If the remedy is towards chilly, then consider this remedy as a chilly only. If the remedy is towards hot, then consider this remedy as a hot remedy. Then regarding the questions to be asked. First thing is that the essential question should be asked. Question should be asked in such a way that it should give you the clue for the selection of the proper thermals. Then we should go for the thermal totality. You should not rely on single symptom. always try to take the totality of the symptoms to find out the thermals. Then the author says that key thermals are hidden in the drug modalities and their sensations. Then we have seen the thermal materia medica of 284 drugs. Then we have seen the three cases. In first case, the author has given argentum nitricum 30. Then second case is a Naxomica 30, and the third case we have seen is a Rustox 30. Then at the end you will find bibliography, where the book consulted are written. Here it ends with our lecture. If you like the video, then please do like and subscribe the channel and also share it. Thank you and see you soon with the next video on homeopathy.